Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to play with the Oceanfront stamp set, and I've added a greeting from Happiness Abounds, and I will admit to throwing a couple of seagulls in from the mountain air. So I've made this as the base card. I'm going to change it up just a little bit when I make the card for the demo. There's lots of stamps in this. I think I've used almost every block I own, and lots of ideas in here. So let's get started. I've got a standard North American card base in a portrait open, 5 1/4 by 4 in pear pizzazz. Then I've got a 5 by 3 3/4 in the soft suede, because I thought it needed just a little bit something around the edge here, so I'm going with the soft suede. And this is a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white that I'm going to stamp on and then cut out with the second largest stitched rectangle die. So I'm going to leave that there as a reference point, and let's get stamping. So our first stamp is the sky, and we are going to use the balmy blue. And we are going to ink up our stamp. And you can tell it's got variations in the stamp itself. There's more ink in some places and less ink in others. So I am going to stamp this down and making sure I'm straight on the paper. And with these stamps, the photopolymer, you can see where the ink's applied and where it hasn't. So you can give it an extra little squish. You can use your Stamparatus as well. I have a little foam pad underneath my scrap paper, so that is how I can get a clear stamp without using the Stamparatus. Now this is the ocean piece, and I'm using Coastal Cabana for that. So we're just going to, again, ink up our stamp. And again, you can see the variations in the stamp itself. And we're going to line this up, and I apologize if I get my hair in the frame. We're just going to line this up. It overlaps just a little tiny bit, but that just gives us more of a horizon in the background. And you'll notice that this is just a little bit darker than my finished version, and that is because the ink is always a little bit darker when it's wet. Okay, so we're going to come in and do the beach. Now it comes in like this, and I actually stamped it twice. So we're going to come in and we're going to put the beach down. And again, you can see the variations in the stamp. And again, I apologize if I get my hair in the frame. I'm just going to put that down like that. And again, one more time, overlapping it like that. Okay. You can offset it if you want. I'm just trying to keep everything kind of in a solid frame, and I used Sahara sand to do the beach piece. Okay, now I'm going to use, sorry, my arm is in the way because I'm trying to get my ink pads. I'm going to use pear pizzazz to do the long greenery in here. So I'm just going to ink this up and pop it in like this, and then I'm going to pop another one in. I just need to see where I am, so I'm just going to turn this a little bit like that. There we go. So we've got, you can put one more in if you want. I did 3 on the first one, and I think I like 3 here as well. So there we go. So you've got a good stand of grass there. Oh, and I need this still, but I'm going to do this in just a bit. I want to show you something really, really neat with the small set. And I'm going to come in with the soft suede and these rocks next. You can create a mask if you want with these ones. I'm just going to stamp right over top. The soft suede is dark enough that it will cover up anything underneath. So I've just popped that in like that. There is a little bit of variation in the color in behind, but you can really see the difference between freshly stamped and dried. So what I wanted to show you with this stamp, and I may have left myself just shy of a little room to do this, but we'll try it anyway. When you ink this up, you get kind of one stand of flowers, and I'm going to overlap this a bit like this. So I stamped 2. I overlapped them like that, so I've got kind of a clump of grass. And then what I did, because it just struck me that this is what I should do, this little stamp here, the speckles, you can use it for making like a pebble beach or whatever. I used I think this is Highland Heather, and I stamped over top of this to make little flower bush. So it's almost like it's the little vetch or little flowers you get in the dune grass. So that's that. And now I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz again to do the greeting at the bottom. I did it in the Balmy Blue on the example, but I think I'm going to do it in the Pear Pizzazz here. And I can overlap a little bit and just press it down. So there we go. So sending thanks for all you do. And I actually kind of like that better in the green than I do in the Balmy Blue. So the next thing I need to do is run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss with the die, which I have now covered up in all of my efforts here. There it is. So I am going to just place this down so everything's just a little bit centered. And I kind of like that that grass is sort of off to the side there. So my main concern here is lining up the greetings so that when I put it on the card, the greeting doesn't look crooked. So I'm going to pop that down, make sure I'm still straight, and I am a little crooked, so I am going to get out a sticky note just to keep it straight there. So I'll do that. I'll pop this down, and you'll notice that my die is on an angle so that it doesn't go that hard edge straight into the roller. And we'll run that through, and then we'll build the card. If you've got, there was some sets a while ago, a suite that had like little, almost like little pebbles in it for embellishments. If you've got that, absolutely, this would be a great place to put just a couple of them down here like this. I've just finished my paper pumpkin, and they did have some of those little gems almost that look like little stones in the paper pumpkin kit. And those would work well here as well. Okay, so we've got that out. So let's go ahead and build our card now. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Haha. On this one, I used the clouds from the Mountain Air. Didn't really like the clouds on this one, but I did like the little birds. So we are going to go ahead and we are just going to put the little birds in, grab them out of the Mountain Air set. Any set that's got the little birds in it, like this, you can add in. I'm just going to put some there and then some there. I just thought that the sky needed maybe a little bit of interest because there's lots of interest at the bottom of the card, not a lot of interest at the top of the card. So let's just put all of this together now. Get my Stampin' Seal. Again, this is Pear Pizzazz in 5 1/4 by 4. And we'll just line that up, drop it down. And then this is Soft Suede in 3 3/4 by 5. And we'll mount that up, line it up square and straight, and drop it down. And then we're going to flat mount this. You can dimensionalize it if you like. There's lots of different things you could do. To make the card your own, you could change up the sizes or change up the color of the paper in behind. So there we go, and that lines up just about perfectly there. So there we have a Sending Many Thanks for All You Do card. Really gender neutral. You could send it out to anybody. And I appreciate you watching the video today. And stay tuned for more. Let's create together again soon.